everyone, and welcome to the Three Married Ladies Opinions podcast. I'm Each One Teach One.
I'm Nika Knight.
I'm a selfie on a mic.
And today we're going to talk about how do you maintain the intimacy in your marriage? And is intimacy important, maintaining that romance? So we thought it was important to kind of discuss this, especially with the pandemic going on right now. How are you and your partner maintaining or keeping that romance going? How are you keeping the intimacy going? So we have a guest named Tony, or Jay, and his wife as our guest. And we just wanted to get some other perspectives. So, how you doing today, Tony? Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me and my wife Stephanie as guests. Hopefully I will keep you guys entertained. While you guys were doing the presentation, I just got pinched, so I'm going to let my wife start this off about the intimacy. So Stephanie, you have the floor.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, Stephanie.
As you know, it's always a riot to hang out with this dude. So, what's up? you always got one that's funny, and you always got one that's not. So,
well, yeah, I'm glad to get y'all opinion. I'm glad y'all agreed to do this. This is gonna be fun. So, what do you think, Stephanie? How you do it?
Well, I mean, first of all, we have some outside factors that kind of affect our intimacy right now. One is 6 and one is 1.
Oh, wow.
So it's definitely not easy trying to find those moments when they're always in our faces. Oh, here he comes.
Well, I'd like to say that's her version because I feel as though that, you know, as we get older, 20 minutes can be 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So if we can find time can be there.
I feel so good right now listening to you and your wife, Stephanie. Go ahead.
Speak on it.
Anyway, so he always has to add his own version to stories and stuff. But anyway, we are also up in age. We had our kids a little late in life. So we don't have the same energy as maybe someone who had their kid at 25.
Yes.
I'd like to disagree on that because age is nothing but a number. That is her version, and this is my version. My father, he was 60 years old. He was still going at it. He had, may he rest in peace. He was still going at it. So personally, I feel as though that age is nothing but a number. Okay, I'm passing the mic back to my wife.
I'm loving
it. Let's leave the male perspective out for a second. Let's think about us as mothers.
Okay.
Okay. So we do know that 90% of the time the kids come to us, and the kids, we are with the kids, and it's a lot of attention on us from the kids. So it's like he may have 2 minutes of his time to spare.
You know what? 22 minutes. All right, let's get it straight. All right.
But it's definitely, I will say though, in the pandemic, it has been a little bit easier to find time because we're both home. But with working, it was, it's a little difficult. Oh, here he comes.
All right, here's the real deal. My wife is trying to get her Nicole Murphy on, so she's been working out a lot. All right. And in working out a lot, she has had more endurance. TMI. She's been doing a lot of planks. She's been doing a lot of squats. In a way, it has made my life for the time of intimacy worthwhile.
All right now.
So you said plank and squat. So how do you romanticize that? So she's working out, working up the sweat, and you watching, and let's say the kids napping. Maybe that's a good time to put them in bed. So she can do the planks and the squats in a different way.
Well, to be honest, my wife loves her sleep. So when the kids are asleep, that's when she falls asleep.
Yeah.
I can
I definitely agree.
Rest. I get it. I totally get it.
Yes.
So when her eyes are closed, you know, she still sleeps with one eye open, because when my hands, men have their mind and their hands have different minds. You know? So the thing is that she's learned that she'll stay up later and let me fall asleep first, and then come to sleep in bed. That's her tactic, because if I'm up, she's not coming upstairs.
I wanted to
coming upstairs.
Can I defend in this? I mean, I do that a lot too, but sometimes we're the ones cleaning up after everybody at night when everybody sleeps. So that's why y'all get to fall asleep first. I don't know if that's true for you, Stephanie. So what do you think, Steph?
She's trying to get the phone for me now. Okay, all right, here.
So you guys are right. When everybody's asleep, that's when we get to have our downtime. So I'm a teacher, so that's when I'm grading my papers. That's when I'm trying to get work done. So he's asleep. So, you know, I finally will roll into bed like midnight or whatever. That's when he want to be like all touchy-feely and stuff. And I'm just ready to go to bed. So,
That's every night.
It is.
Every night, even on weekends. It's like, you know what? Don't touch me. Power to the women's suffrage movement, the whole nine, y'all. It's always that.
Don't touch me at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Don't touch her at 2 o'clock in the morning. Don't touch her at 5 o'clock in the morning. Don't touch her at 10:30 at night.
Fall asleep. When you fall asleep, it's just like, oh my gosh, she's so much at peace. And well, I'm talking about myself now, but then when that hand comes, it's like, no, because I only have 30 more minutes to sleep. Don't touch me.
Listen, as a teacher, I have to defend you guys, because I have been absolutely exhausted since I've been in virtual learning. I mean, seriously.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm gonna say my piece on this. So, see, now you guys got me open. See, this is the deal. We talk a lot about things, and she would tell me. One time, she would say to me, "You know what? All right, 2:30 in the morning." So I was like, 2:30 in the morning? All right, cool, no problem. So me, I'm a type of person, I see things in black and white. I rarely see things in the gray area. So 2:30 in the morning, I'm like, hey, what's up? Man, every single time. She's like, man, I just said it so you could just leave me alone. I said, you can't tell me 2:30 in the morning. And yo, I set Siri, I set up Alexa, I set up Google. 2:30.
Can y'all give one suggestion as far as how do you try to keep the romance? Like, what do you think another suggestion should be? Like, what do you do besides set a time?
Get off the phone, man. Get off of the phone. She's asking me.
Instead of talking about the negative a little bit, let's kind of bring it back to the positive of the things that you can do.
All right, so I will sometimes go to him and give him a hug, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a hugger. I like to hug. And he gives me a hug. But then, like, he'll go and hug, and then instead of, like, just taking it as a cute, intimate moment, he'll want to go grab booty or start, you know.
Yo, she's doing squats.
Start finger tapping. And I'm like, dude, I just wanted a hug, you know? And he's just trying to turn it from a hug to, like, Pornhub. And I'm like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, the kids are watching TV. We could go to the basement. You know what I'm saying? She could hug me down there. You know, the time that she wants to hug is when the kids are around. And so I'm just like, okay, I feel as though that there should be a grace period of a hug. Because if I'm hugging you for like more than 10, 15 seconds, I mean, yo, you know, you guys watch The Hulk, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't want David Banner turning into the Hulk. That's it. Is that good enough?
Oh, frustration. Okay. Yeah. We got
so, you know, you can't be hugging me for like 10, 20, 30 seconds. David bed is slowly going to turn into the hug.
Right.
So it's just like, yo, just don't let him turn to the hug. That's all.
Well, my husband is visual, so for him, I asked him, I said, okay, what would you suggest? He's like, well, he said it in a funny way, but I know he meant it. You got a big butt, so just walk around in the thong all day. All day in the house. But what we tend to do is, aside from sexual intimacy, just maintaining just like regular intimacy is we watch TV. Like late, especially since the pandemic hit, like we're gonna find something that's like interesting that we into, and we're gonna get on the couch, we're gonna cut. That's one thing that we definitely do.
Okay.
And that keeps the romance, because I'm like, okay, I know at 8:00 we're gonna watch this film, and even though it's gonna be like all our attention gonna be on there, his arm gonna be around me, my head gonna be on him, you know what I mean? So you still get that connection, especially if you've been working all day and you just want to wind down. That's the way that we kind of just do it. And before the pandemic, we used to just do a date night. We always set aside like, okay, we have to have a date night. Like so we could get out of the house. Sometimes we would just go stay at a hotel, even if it was just like, just to get away, just so that we can be in a different surrounding. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I put on a little costume just to keep it going. Because when you've been married for 19 years, you've been together for like 25, you get to experience a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta remix with some kind of way.
Yeah. You gotta try to keep it fresh,
You gotta keep it fresh. So I done visited Spencer's and stuff in the back area of Spencer's. Like, okay, what can I pick up today? Surprise them, Like, oh, that's cute. And so I get what Tony was saying about the frustration, because I know there's sometimes I just do want to hug, like, because especially if I've been planning all day and I've been grading and trying to keep up with grading, and I just want him to hug him. There it goes. I know what she needs. That hand travels down the back right to the booty. So I get that, but I think that's his way of being a hug. That's his idea of hug. Mm-hmm. So I just go with it, and then I'm like, okay, gotta go to finish working. So, but I have had to tell my job, look, I gotta cut out what I'm doing, because I'm neglecting home.
Can I say something real quick? You know what that is? The hug thing? It's simple attraction. If men don't get excited when they get a hug or something, and they keep on going, the woman gonna think something wrong. Ain't no attraction there. So every time Shalita come to hug me, I do the same thing the guy said. I'm pushing her back to the bedroom. I get excited. I mean, if you don't want me to get excited, don't hug me. That's how I look at it. Don't hug me, because you already know what is going to happen.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, I'm Jake. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for coming aboard.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I ain't going to stay long, but I heard what you said, and I got to go with you on that. Anytime Shalita hug me, man, she knows. So I think sometimes she avoid hugging me because she already knows. I don't care if you come in the house, you want to hug, you're going to have to wake up a little bit, because this will get ready to happen.
Thank you.
But I understand what Stephanie is saying, and sometimes it's not that we don't want the sex part. It's just that sometimes we just been so busy throughout the day. We want y'all to just caress us, like get us, warm me up.
Get me out. That's the wrong choice of words. Warm me up is the wrong choice of words.
Wait. Like, yeah, no, it's not. Warm me up. Get me out of the mindset of mommy. Let me come out of the mindset of, the maid cleaning up, cooking and everything. Instead of squeezing my butt, going straight to sex, caress my back, squeeze my arm. Pull me in close, kiss on me. That way I start getting into that mindset to give you the wop. Because less than that, I'm just gonna bend over and you gonna catch mommy, you gonna catch the cooker, you gonna catch the cleaner, but you ain't gonna catch that sweetness. So yes, you still gotta hug me, caress me, all that.
All that.
Preach.
Well, there should be a grace period. Well, here's my thing. I guess that there should be some communication where there should be a grace period of the hug, because if it goes over that threshold, then you know what's gonna pop off. I have no problem giving hugs, but the amount of duration of the hug, I mean, David Banner is gonna turn into the Hulk, and as you can see, it takes time for the Hulk to get back to David Banner. So
yeah, but see, the hug represents like when you hug. Now I don't know how Stephanie feels. I'm just saying for myself. When my husband hugs me, I go back to daddy's little girl. It's like safety.
It's security.
Security. You know, once you get a woman feeling secured and safe, boy, them squats and planks gonna turn to something else.
Well, I don't know. We an anomaly, to tell you the truth. Oh no.
Young children too. So it's different. It's different when you let young children run around. Like it's easier for me and my husband, I know, because we don't have children in the house. So it's just me and him. But when you have children and you gotta kind of like carve out time, like that could be difficult. I can see how that could be difficult.
Yeah, I had my children early, so right now they're young adults. But even, I mean, they're gonna have to hear us and move out. That's the only choice they have right now.
So for me, you just gotta get it when I like am ready. So if I'm working out and I'm sweaty and I'm like, let's just do this, he just gotta take it. He doesn't like that. Like he'll do it when I'm ready, but he wants me to do it when he's ready. But and he's ready like 99.999% of the time.
Yeah, mine is too. You heard him. I'm always ready.
On go.
But the good thing about it, Stephanie, is that they still attracted. So the good thing about it is that when he hugs you, you get that instant erection. That's the good thing about it. Because some mommies and some wives ain't getting that.
Yeah.
I know that we got probably like
attraction, that thinness and everything is still there, so that's good.
Yeah. This is neat, and we got about like 3 minutes left of this episode, so I wanted to give a little bit of opinion, because I kind of got children that are young and I'm older, 46 to be exact, and my husband is 49, so it's kind of like a combination of everything of what Tony and Stephanie said happens. So trying to keep it romance, I could say in my opinion, is you just gotta get it when it comes open. You got little kids, that's not gonna be no regular habit. You have to make those moments, and you have to make it count, and it's gonna have to be that's not gonna be no every on the regular like you want it, because if she's a teacher and have little kids, that's something that you would have to me, cultivate throughout the day. If you want us to be ready by the end of the day, you have to do little things for us in our mind sometimes. This is how I work. Not everybody. This is just how I work. In my mind, you have to brush by me, smack me on the ass. You can come behind me and smell my neck, kiss me on my neck, and then go about your business. You gotta do little things throughout the day. So then by the time the end of the night comes, then I might be in that mood. But that's just me, as my opinion. You have to get in my head first.
Hold on. Yannick, hold on. Let me write the end of the night.
So you crazy. So
it sounds like a plan to me too.
So you need to women is more emotional. I can't say in general. I would say some, but not all. And somebody else I know uses that term of some but not all. And it's basically, I'm saying my opinion, not everybody. But women in general are more emotional, and just like Mrs. Selfie said, wanting to feel that safe and security. But in order to get their mind in the state that you want it to, you're going to have to do little things to get us there. it has to be stuff throughout the day. You can't just, I've been working all day, kids all day, whatever, and then all of a sudden I'm supposed to turn into this. No, that's not gonna happen. Especially if you got a lot of things going on. So I wanted to give each one teach one time to wrap it up and just give my opinion that you just need to do things throughout the day, and like each one teach one said before, set times and days or to date to do things outside of the children. Ask somebody to come over for one night and watch them, and go to a hotel or something like that, or put the kids to bed early and go to a spot somewhere in the house where you know they can't hear you and you can make all the noise you want once a month or whatever. I don't know, just once every 2 weeks. I don't know. Mine's is kind of spread few and far in between because I not only work 3 jobs, I go to school. So my time is really short. So once a month is probably like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm telling the business. It's about once a month that happens with us. And that's something that we got to plan. It's like we got to be like, okay, on that day. And then if it messes up, then we plan for another day. But that's what's going on right now. But that is still keeping us afloat right now. I don't know if we got to change it because nothing is perfect. But you just got to mess with her throughout the day. And I'm going to pass it over to each one, teach one.
Yes, so we want to thank you, Stephanie and Tony, for joining us today. Thank you for joining us and sharing with us your opinions on this topic. I just think it's wise to keep in mind that every marriage is different, and what works in one house may not work in another person's house. And so communication is definitely key. Like, you really have to know your mate. What things set them off, what things will get them in the mood, what things do they like, And sometimes it's just a sacrifice. Like, sometimes, in my opinion, you do have to go with it. And it may not be like a long, drawn out session. It may be a very quick session, but it's just very important to keep that connection going and change things up. Like we talked about, the date nights. I think that's a good idea for any couple, because women in general, like you said, some, not all, like to feel like they're still being dated, like to feel like you didn't just catch me and now, we just married, we still like to feel like women, and men still like to feel like men. So it's up to us as wives too to look to those needs too. So it's not just on looking at a woman's need. You do need to look at your husband's need, because they are very visual creatures, as we know. Not all, but some or most are very visual. So you gotta really look at that. But I think communication is the key. I think that's the most important thing. And not just communicating, but hearing what the other partner is saying. Not just to respond to them, not just listening to respond, but listening to really hear what they're saying. Because if you lose intimacy, it can devastate your marriage. And we all about building marriages here. So I want to thank everyone for joining us today. So that is our wrap up for this episode. Please tune in again for the next episode. I guarantee you want to miss it.
Bye.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Peace.